So, I was looking into things that are currently trending for marriage, and I'm just wondering, why is it all so bad? Is it just that people like to talk about the things that are just like really, really messed up, or what? So let's talk about it, I guess. Instead of talking about one particular trend, I just want to talk about how marriage trends are terrible. I'm just looking for video ideas. That's basically it. That was my motivation. And here are the suggestions I get. Like, first thing, open marriages. Like, oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about on my channel, open marriages. The like anti-marriage as it gets marriage. If you want an open marriage, you don't want marriage at all. Like, that's just no. Sorry. That's just how it is. So that was a great start. Next thing I read is lavender marriage, which, if you don't know what that is where you basically have a marriage for appearances and you're in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex to hide the fact that you're doing things with I think you know where this is going. Homosexuals basically will have lavender marriages, all for appearance's sake, and that's not really something I want to talk about either. I mean, no, don't do that. Like, that goes against what marriage is. You are committing to one person for the rest of your life, and you're promising yourself to that person. It's meant to be a reflection of, what God made it to be. You have the husband, the wife, and this representation of Christ in the church, and it's really beautiful. And so open marriage and lavender marriages, that's all against that. The next thing I saw is how people are getting married and forgoing having kids. And though that in itself, it's like, okay, you're getting married and you're choosing not to have children. I don't think everyone is meant to have kids. I do think if you're choosing to get married, children are kind of likely. And obviously, if you get married and you do find yourself pregnant, then you need to be responsible for the fact and have that baby. That baby didn't ask to be there, and you might not have wanted that baby there, but you did the things that make a baby, so you have a baby. But that's beside the point. There are ways you can go about being married and not ever conceiving a child, but the thing on it is why so many people are saying they don't want to have children, and maybe the why isn't being completely honest, but I would like to assume that people are just actually being honest about their reasoning. When you read reasons like, I don't want to bring a life into this world, that's a pretty bad situation. I mean, as far as reasons to not have kids, that must mean we're really in a terrible spot, in absolute despair, and we don't believe it's ever going to get any better. That's sad. That's a really sad state to be in. So if that's the reason for not having kids, obviously there are going to be marriages where some people can't have kids, and I empathize with that situation. I was able to have my son, but I can't have any more children, and that's an extremely difficult thing to go through. So no one should ever be saying that someone's marriage doesn't count as a marriage because they can't have kids. Like, that's not what makes the marriage union. The marriage, again, is husband and wife coming together. So children are that blessing in addition. They're not necessary for that union. I think they're a wonderful, wonderful thing, but they're not necessary to make a marriage. And then there are those who just simply don't want kids, and okay, like, not everyone is meant to have children, and I don't think we should push people who are really opposed to the idea to have kids. But again, I would just say be responsible if you do end up pregnant. Like, if you do things that conceive babies. But yeah, these are some of the trends that are popping up when you try to look into what you should talk about when it comes to marriage, and I'm just kind of like, no, please. Can we talk about dates? Can we talk about some fun stuff? Can we talk about how awesome marriage actually is? I would rather get into that. So you guys can stick around on this channel and learn more about fun dates you can do with your spouse and things to look forward to in marriage, because that's what I'd rather focus on.